Good morning, everybody. It's Norma here. Welcome you to your Wednesday morning slow flow. We're just a few minutes out before getting started, so just a few reminders and Happy New Year to everybody. I'm glad to be back on my mat with this offering for you. I hope everybody is well and having had a nice holiday. So we're about to just 2 minutes out. Just a few reminders. This is an all levels class, so bring your whole self here. Glad to see you. As always, I can't see you out there, so practice at your own level. And reminder that what I'm doing is just that, it's an offering, so practice at your own level. Maybe there's a posture or two that may be new to you, so I'll explain things as we go. So welcome. And we're about just a minute to begin. We're going to start on our backs today. I'm just going to start in a seated position while we welcome people. So it is 7:30 on my clocks. We'll begin. So once again, welcome. So we're going to start on our backs today in Shavasana. So if you can find yourself there, hopefully that you have your yoga mat with you or a soft surface to lay down on. We're not going to need any extra pops for this class, but certainly if you have yoga blocks at home or a blanket that you like to maybe put on for Shavasana at the end, that is always welcome. So let's begin. So taking this first few minutes to arrive. As you get comfortable in your Shavasana pose to start, just taking that first few breaths to fidget, finding that nice position that you feel comfortable and supported. And know that you are gently held here. You are safe. And you can feel all the feels when you're on your yoga mat. So as each breath travels in through your body, can you soften? Can you land here, knowing that you've carved out this 45 minutes for yourself this morning, and anything that you may have brought with you to your mat, you can just put that aside. I mean, that'll be there if you choose to pick that up when we get completed. Let's take an inhale breath together. Exhale, sigh, open your mouth, let it all go. Can you soften even more? I thought we'd talk about gratitude this morning. So gratitude for this new year that we find ourselves in. Gratitude for this community that we've carved out for ourselves. And gratitude for each other and ourselves. So as we're laying here before we get started on our postures, you can maybe think about something that you're grateful for today. So if nothing comes up, that's okay. Perhaps through our postures and our breath, that something may come to you. And then maybe can you think about something in your body that you're grateful for? And as we allow that breath to renew and rejuvenate ourselves, can we maybe just think about that we're grateful for our breath to allow an opportunity for a fresh start, for new beginnings, and with the awareness that if anything comes up, you're always welcome to inhale deeply and exhale, sigh, let anything go. join you on our mats now to begin our practice. So I'm inviting a breath now that enters your nose and exits your nose. Just with that slight constriction in the back of your throat, kind of like you're maybe snoring, or sounds maybe like you're scuba diving. So let's do a few breaths like that. Before gently bringing your awareness back into your body and offering small movements as we gently wake up. So slow and steady is what I would like to offer you today. So don't force anything. Travel through each posture with intent, maybe with that thought of, what am I grateful for here? And maybe before we get started, can we just scan our bodies and create some awareness of how you're feeling this Wednesday morning, this first time maybe that you've rolled out your yoga mat in 2021. As always, awareness, no judgment. And maybe send some breath into those areas that may feel stuck, or that they may be holding on, and see if you can soften that. Stretching your arms overhead like you're waking up from a long nap, pointing toes out. Can you take your knees to chest, bringing head and shoulders up and giving yourself a little hug? And maybe rock yourself from side to side, gently massaging out your spine before letting the head and shoulders come down. With your knees bent, can we offer slow circles with our knees? 3 one way, and then 3 the other way. In your back, a little massage. So gently, gently warm up our bodies. Letting your feet come down to the mat. Feet are as wide as the mat with your toes pointed out. Arms can be by your side. And can we take our knees in together to start? And then gently rocking your knees from side to side as we have this windshield wiper pattern. Slow and steady, bringing one knee in and then the other. Beautiful, guys. Bring it back to center, walking your feet back in, coming up for one more hug before gently rocking on your spine, or turning over until we land in our tabletop position. Maybe we can work this year on rolling up and landing in table. So setting this great foundation on our first tabletop position. Shoulders are stacked on top of elbows, on top of wrists. Fingers are splayed out wide. Elbows are pointing forward. The eyes of the inner aspects of your arms are facing forward. Let's do that together again. So letting your arms fall open and then gently rotating so the eyes of your elbows face forward, getting that good foundation, taking the pressure off your ribs. Toes can be flat on the mat or toes can be tucked. Let's travel through some cat-cows to further warm up the upper part of our spine. Dropping our belly, lifting our gaze. Cow. Exhaling, curling belly button to spine as we come into that scary Halloween cat. And traveling through 3 more of those with your own breath. Linking breath with movement. And never offering your body any authentic movement that it wants as we're traveling through this. You know how your body's feeling this morning and what feels good in your body. Maybe letting your neck hang and swing from side to side. 1 more wherever you are. Before meeting back in a neutral spine. Can you take your right hand up long? Bending into your knees, can you take your right arm and feed it through the window of your left arm, coming down on your head, gently lay on the mat. Thread the needle. Maybe feeding your arm forward if you need a little bit more stretch in that shoulder this morning. Gentle with yourself, we're just warming up. Beautiful, guys. Coming up, I'm threading the needle, placing right hand back underneath your right shoulder. And let's just drop our belly, travel through a cat-cow. Just reset our spine. Before going on to second side. Beautiful, guys. So breathing your left arm up this time. Coming down, letting that left arm feed through the window of your arm, or your right arm, letting your forehead, your left ear come towards the mat, Feeling that nice stretch now on your left shoulder. Making sure you're linking breath with movement and not holding your breath. Beautiful, guys. Gently pressing up, taking left hand down to meet right. 1 more time, cat-cow. Before coming back to a neutral spine, taking your hands just a little bit forward as we tuck our toes now if they're not tucked, bending generously into your knees as you lift your hips up and back to our first downward facing dog. Can we inhale together? Exhale, sigh, let it all go. So big, 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 generous bend to your knees. You can maybe feel your tummy being compressed by your thighs. And can you slowly invite your heels towards the ground, lengthening your tail long behind you as you pour your heart through the window of your arms, laying biceps up with your ears, melting your arm forward. And can you now offer any movement that your dog is looking for this morning? Maybe wagging your tail from side to side, or big bend to one knee, biting one heel down, and then switching. What feels good in your body this first inversion this morning? Bending your knees, looking to the top of your mat and traveling there. You can walk, you can take a big step, or maybe you can jump there if that's in your practice. Inhale to lengthen, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine all the way up. Taking hands in heart center. Just want to take a moment in our first Tadasana pose here, our mountain pose, taking hands to the side. Feeling our foundation, our feet, just like we started with our hands in our first cat-cow. Feeling that stability that you're grounding that you're getting from your mat, Mama Earth here. Beautiful, guys. Inhaling, rise up. Exhale, bow over your soft knees. Inhale, flat back to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back as we offer our first flow this morning. So always listening to what serves your body, what is in your practice. I'm going to come down onto my knees for my first flow, my first chaturanga. So holding the arms close to by your side. Can you lower all the way down to your mat? Taking your hands off your mat, coming up on tented fingers. Your hands should be parallel with your forehead. Can you breathe yourself up into a baby cobra? And exhaling, coming down. Let's do this again. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more time. Inhaling. And exhaling, coming all the way down. Taking our hands back to our sides. We maybe just turn our right ear to our mat before we start moving a little bit quicker, stretching out our necks. And forehead back to center. And inviting left ear to the mat. Or as close as you can get. I have some tightness in the right side of my neck, so this is a little bit more challenging for my left ear to come down. Just for a few breaths. Allowing your forehead to come back to the mat. Making sure your hands are underneath your shoulders as you tuck your toes, bending up through table to our downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. So we'll have a few flows this morning, maybe about 4 or 5. So honor your body. If you're not feeling like you want to have the vinyasas through our standing postures, you can always come here to your down dog as a resting posture, your home base, or coming down onto your knees and settling back into your child's pose. What would serve your body this morning? Do that. So from your downward facing dog, let's travel through 2 more sun salutations. Surya Namaskar A, bending our knees, looking forward, and travel to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, folding in before rising up. This time automatically bending over your soft knees to bow. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your vinyasa. So I'm going to stay on my toes now this time. Breathing up into your cobra. Just because we're warming up. And coming up through your downward facing dog. Always an option to travel to table on your way there. Let's inhale together. Sigh, let it all go. Bending your knees, looking to the top of your mat and traveling there. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding in. Rising up. And bowing over your soft knees. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Your cobra may be coming up a little bit higher, so we're warming up. And we're going to meet in downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. 3 breaths to reset. Can you take your right leg up long behind you, 3-legged dog? Bending your knees, stacking your hip, and offering 3 circles with your knee to open up our hip a little bit here. 3 one way, and then 3 the other way. When that's complete, taking your leg long behind you before stepping your right leg to the top of your mat. Taking your left foot and coming into a 45-degree angle. Can you rise up into your Warrior One posture? So Warrior One is a closed hip posture. Your hips are facing forward like headlights. As I said, that your left foot is on an angle here, and it should be pointing to the number 11 on the clock. So setting our foundation, if this isn't feeling comfortable and you're feeling that it's a little bit awkward, you can always step your left foot out a little bit. This gives your ability to maybe open your hips a little bit more if you may have tight hips, as I do. It maybe help with your balance. So when you're feeling steady, bending generously into that right knee, but you're still able to see the toes of your right foot, you can take your arms up into goddess arms. Three breaths here. Beautiful, guys. Taking our hands behind us, clasping our fingers, lengthening our arms long behind you. Now, if this is feeling really uncomfortable, you have some things going on with your shoulders, you can always clasp your wrists or opposite elbows. So inhaling your breath, lengthening your arms long behind you. Can you bow yourself forward, inviting your right shoulder into your right knee, keeping your tail tucked as we humble our warrior here. This is a posture where we sometimes hold our breath, so remembering that if you're too far into the posture and your breath is becoming compromised, maybe coming out a little bit. So in this gratitude theme, offering our humble warrior, it's a great way to express humility, as well as it's a way to come inward, having that compassion for yourself, that awareness inside. Letting your hands come down, inching forward with your hands as you drag your left leg long behind you as it comes up off the floor into Warrior Three. Your foot is flexed like you're standing on the wall behind you. You can stay here with your hands on the ground, or if you want to challenge your balance a little bit, maybe your hands come to your ankles, or maybe they come into prayer, or maybe you're feeling morning, you want to challenge your balance, maybe Superman arms. Beautiful. Then your hands come down, left foot meets right. Can we inhale, flat back, exhale, forward fold. Nice job, guys. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bowing over soft knees. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. You can rinse it out. You can stay in your downward dog. Because that is where we're going to meet. And I'm going to just change my position so you can see the second side. 3 breaths to reset. Just checking in on you guys. Maybe grabbing a sip of water. Before we go on to our second side. And we inhale together, exhale, sigh, let it all go. Can you take your left leg up behind you, bending your knees, stacking your hips without sinking into your standing leg or elbow? Can we upper the knee, rotating in circles, 3 one way, and 3 the other way. What we do on one side, we must do on the other so we feel balanced. When that's complete, taking your left leg long behind you before stepping or helping your left foot to the top of your mat. Placing your right foot now, that is like the number 1 on your clock, squaring up your hips before coming up into Warrior 1. So any adjustments to set your foundation here. I maybe just took my left foot a little bit forward before coming up into your goddess arms, second side. Letting your hands come down, clasping your hands long behind you. Just changing the clasp of your hands opposite from the last expression. So again, you can hold on to your wrists or your elbows if that's more comfortable. Inhaling, lengthening your arms long behind you, long down by your tail before bowing forward. Making sure tail's tucked to your humble warrior. Just making sure you're still breathing here. Letting your hands come down to the mat. Inching yourself forward as you drag that right foot up long behind you till it comes off the mat. And imagine like you're standing on that wall behind you. And where's your Warrior 3 feel good on the second side? So always awareness, no judgment. That one side might be completely different than the other. So maybe you're just coming on your tented fingers. Maybe just challenge yourself a little bit from one side to the other and see where your Warrior 3 is on second side. Nice job, guys. Letting your hands come down. Right foot meets left. And let's just take our feet wide as our mat. Bending
in generously into our knees as we take our arms. Just allowing ourselves to pour open in ragdoll here. Maybe nodding your head. Yes. Shaking it no. Letting anything that you may be holding on from those postures or anything that you might have brought in, just imagine it dripping off into your yoga mat. Beautiful, guys. And your hands come in to the mat, heel toeing your feet back to shoulder distance apart. Can we inhale, flat back, exhale, forward fold, before planting our hands and stepping back to our last vinyasa. Maybe you're coming up into upward dog if that's in your practice, before coming up through downward dog, and then coming down into your child's pose. For 10 breaths. Nice job, guys. So some postures that we don't do a lot of, or thread the needle with our arms. Our warrior one posture, humbling our warrior. So as you settle here in your child's pose, can you offer some breath into the back of your body, the back of your rib cage, the back of your heart, knowing that you're safely held here. And listen to your body, and maybe something maybe has come up that you maybe come back to that thought. What are you grateful for in 2021? What are you grateful for in your body? And that can be that you came out to roll out your mat this morning, that you maybe tried a posture that you had never done, or maybe that you were able to hold your warrior three posture for a breath or two longer that you may have done last time you were on your mat. Listen to your body. The messages will be there. Beautiful, guys. When you're ready, we're going to push ourselves up through table and then prepare to come down onto our mat for the remainder of our class. So on our way down to our backs, why don't we do a boat pose here? Why not? So, taking your arms behind your knees and coming up onto your tippy toes as you sit back on your sit bones. And this may be your expression of your boat pose. If you're feeling comfortable and you want to lift your toes up, sitting back on your sit bones, I invite you there. Or maybe it's in your practice to take your hands away, even if it's just for a moment, before taking your hands back down and lowering yourself slower than you want to all the way down to your mat. Great job, guys. Alrighty. Let's come back to our windshield wipers. So feet are as wide as your mat, toes are out. Hands can be like a T on your side. And let's let our legs fall from side to side. Coming back to where we started. The next time your knees fall to the right, you can leave them there. Letting your left arm come up and overhead. If you want to come deeper into the stretch, maybe you hook your right ankle over your left knee. Feeling that nice stretch in the left side of your body. Using your breath, allowing your knees to come up, leaving your right foot crossed over left like number 4. You can stay here for figure 4, maybe coming up on your toes or block. If you want to get deeper into the stretch into your hips, threading your arms through the window of your leg, keeping your feet flexed to protect your knee. To thread the needle with your legs. Sending breath into any area that may be feeling stuck. Letting go of your arms if you thread the needle, letting your right knee come across left like your legs are crossed. Now allowing your knees to come over to the left side. Arms are open like a T, gaze is over your right shoulder. Only coming over to the left that your right shoulder is still anchored to the right part of your mat. And can we settle into this twist for 10 breaths? Knees come back to center, taking right foot down, taking your feet as wide as your mat again, toes are pointed out, and back to your windshield wipers from side to side. Feeling that difference maybe from one side to the other as we transition to second side. When your knees fall to the left, we can leave them there. Taking your right arm up overhead this time. Allowing your knees to fall open, and you can hook your left foot over your right knee. If you want to get deeper into the stretch. Deep breath, come into that right side of your body now. knees come up, your right foot is flat on the floor. We have the number 4 here on the second side with your left foot across your right knee. Figure 4. Again, you could stay here or maybe come on your tippy toes, or if it's in your practice to thread your needle, reaching through the opening of your legs and settling here. Making sure your feet are flexed. Knowing that one side may be completely different than the other. And that's okay. Don't force anything. Letting your hands come down if you thread your needle. Crossing your left knee right across your right. And now letting your knees come down over to the right. Anchoring into that left shoulder. Arms are like a T here, and your gaze can be softened or over your left shoulder. And can we settle here for 10 breaths? Gently letting your knees come up. Take your knees into the chest, maybe come up and hugging yourself. Just maybe rocking from side to side to reset your spine from that twist. Before coming all the way down and settling yourself into your posture for your Shavasana. Maybe wiggle out or give any last position that your body may be craving before you travel there. And enjoy these last few minutes of rest and restoration, knowing that I am here and I will bring you back when the time is right. Enjoy. Your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Gaze can be lowered or eyes can be closed. Just taking this moment to thank yourself for carving out this time for your practice this morning. I'm grateful for you for joining. Maybe can we think about that today? What are we grateful for? What am I grateful for in my body? Thank you for joining me today. Know that the love and the light in my heart bows to the love and the light in your heart. Namaste. Have beautiful days, friends. I look forward to seeing you once again on your mat. Take care.